Well, listen, Dr. Ross, my oldest son just turned 14 this year. But we've also been in student ministry for a long time. So I'm no stranger to teenagers. But I feel like often teenagers take on an alien form. Like, who are these people? What are the words that they're saying? The word you're saying is not what I take it to mean, right? And it's sometimes hard to even communicate with them, much less connect with them on a deep level. What can you say to the parent who is struggling to connect with their teenager?
Well, I would like to speak specifically to that family dynamic where there has been stress in the relationship, where there perhaps has been some damage and somebody's been injured a little bit. And because of that injury, parent and teenager are just not connecting anymore. I know this sounds unusual to some parents, but I think if a parent can detect part of the responsibility for this is mine. I have said some things, maybe in anger. I've done some things I regret. I really think if a parent can identify some things the parent has done that's harmed the relationship, really the best thing to do is to go to a teenager, sit down in a quiet moment, and apologize. Not grovel, but say, I got mad one day, I called you something, I wonder if that stays in your mind. I never, ever see you that way. Could you find it in your heart to forgive me? Helping lots and lots of families, what I've discovered is teenagers are completely taken aback that a parent would say, I messed up. I shouldn't have done that. And if a parent is sincerely saying, can you forgive me? In the majority of cases, a teenager goes, well, yeah, I will forgive you. And what that does is it kind of wipes off that dry erase board and allows the relationship to start over. To not do that, to just ignore the hurt, the injury, I think little superficial things that you try to do to reconnect are not going to work very well. So I would say start with an apology. And I also would say after that, a parent will do very well giving some focused attention to a teenager. I know that almost sounds like a no-brainer, but actually the way families are moving right now, everybody is fast, everybody is making quick, snappy statements. It is impressive to a teenager that a parent would just stop and pay attention to them and look them in the eye and listen to them. I really think that's part of reconnecting as well. Another thing that's just human nature, parents that are trying to reconnect need to bless kids. They need to encourage kids, not in a goofy, superficial, sugary way, but genuinely point out things about a teenager that are positive, things that are good. And if a teenager's going through a funk and they've got an attitude, granted, you have to be a little bit more creative about that. But there's something in there you can bless. And over time, that breaks through that wall and helps with the reconnection. I think all of those things can be steps toward reconnecting with the heart of a teenager.
Yeah, it sounds like having a posture of humility towards your own kids will go a long way. Is that right?
A long way.
Yeah, that's awesome. So a lot of parents, though, when they're talking about discipling their own kids, they feel ill-equipped. A lot of parents haven't even been discipled themselves. And here at the conference, you're sharing about how you cannot pass on what you yourself don't possess. Can you speak to those parents who don't feel like they've even been discipled and have no idea where to start with their own kids?
Well, of course, ideally, down the road, we all are dreaming of a day that parents are actually doing true discipleship in the home. There's a curriculum. There are spiritual truths. Of course, that's where we're all headed. But right now, that seems almost impossible for a parent to imagine or to get their arms around. So I think initially, baby steps, we give them something that they can actually do. And that would be how to tell your kid how you met Jesus. Not so much the peripheral details, but what was happening in your heart when this miracle took place. I think teenagers find that interesting. And then for a parent to simply say, and by the way, I've had moments in my life that I was amazingly close to God. I don't think I've ever told you about the time that, ... Once again, kids are interested in that part of a parent's life. And so attention is being given to Jesus but it's being given through the experiences that that parent has had. I think that actually is very important. I think it also matters that a parent says, you know, I have to make decisions here in the family. We have to choose priorities. We have to set our calendar. We have to decide how to spend our money. I want to show you how Jesus and Scripture inform decisions I make right here in the house. Okay, all these things affect the DNA of a teenager. It's not I sat down and went through 6 pages of a curriculum tonight, but I did have a spiritual conversation. And actually, saying that with a face that's alive, with eyes that are dancing when you speak of Jesus, all of that is huge. And I would say for parents just starting out doing those things right there, there is going to be impact in the life of a teenager.